Ain't no more feud.
What the f*** we doing? I'm having a drink to forget about it.
Did he do it, right?
Yes, I know. It did.
You've been heavy on social media to talk about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to the party.
Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes on other people, write songs.
It's hardly shocking that 50 Cent and Diddy have had such a strange feud for so long, considering his influence. However, with Diddy's recent court victory, some hip-hop fans have started to suggest that 50 might be using Diddy to either garner influence or stay relevant in the rap industry. Between the headlines and the history, there appears to be a piece of the puzzle that we are all still trying to solve. The underground rap community has a conspiracy theory that Diddy may have told the police about 50 Cent in the early 2000s to shield himself and his record company. But at the time, there were other rumors going around in the streets. Diddy is accused of helping the police wiretap 50 Cent's phone, which started a series of events that led to chaos and disaster. However, 50 Cent was never the main subject of the lawsuit. By accident, he was caught in the crossfire. Things started to move differently at this moment. The federal authorities already had suspicions about Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, Murder Inc., and pretty much everyone who approached the Supreme Team. But when the streets were crowded back then, loyalty was essential. Nobody was informing, and nobody was ready to flip. Therefore, since they couldn't get anything from within, law enforcement had to find another way. Many then started saying that they looked for a wild card. At the time, only one person had sufficient knowledge to help the authorities in this case. This is where the notion that Diddy was connected to the case comes into play. In 1999, Diddy was involved in a significant court battle that almost cost him both Bad Boy Records and his career. Along with J-Lo and Shine, he had been a part of a shooting at a nightclub in Manhattan.
A shooting rang out at the then popular club New York. Shine was with Diddy, known then as Puffy, his girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez.
The shooting turned out crazier than expected and led to Diddy getting arrested.
The truth, sometimes it hurts. Right. It hurts people and they don't want to hear that shit, but I'm trying to tell you, now it's me, because he take me shopping and it me up because I'm looking like, what? Just like, I want to take you shopping.
After being charged with bribery and gun possession, he was sentenced to a lengthy jail term. Everyone could see that if Diddy ended up in jail right then, he would lose everything he had battled for, including Bad Boy Records. That sort of pressure made it clear that he had to continue to obey the law.
Rap star Sean Puffy Combs is free on bail after he and his girlfriend, entertainer Jennifer Lopez, were arrested.
Or by any means necessary. They kept an eye on him even after he won the lawsuit in the end. Diddy knew what time it was. If he ever got caught up in anything questionable again, especially something involving gangs or the streets, he was going down with it. When the police allegedly knocked in search of inside information, many said it became a matter of saving oneself or drowning with the ship.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now.
Other rumors, which were never confirmed, state that 50 Cent was initially requested to be an informant by the police but refused because he was either hiding something or was too committed to the game. Consequently, it seemed that Diddy had agreed to portray the role.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry.
And 50 wasn't exactly clean either. A few years before the whole wiretap controversy, he had already battled with Supreme Team members. That action nearly cost him his life and placed him back in the trenches for 2 years straight. The well-known song Ghetto Quran which 50 Cent recorded in 2000, basically revealed every trade secret in the rap industry. Furthermore, 50 Cent never gives up on a project, as everyone is aware. He enumerated the identities of people involved, including Queen's crew members, hustlers, and drug lords. But in the song, I was particularly drawn to one name, Supreme. The song was leaked on mixtapes just before it was released. Supreme heard it. And that marked the start of 50's troubles. The street code at the time forbade revealing secrets, as 50 had done with the ghetto Quran. For breaking the most important street rule, 50 Cent had to pay the consequence. After 50 Cent was shot 9 times outside his grandmother's house later that year, there were rumors that Supreme called the hit in retaliation against G-Unit.
I got, shot 9 times, but it was one time. And I just didn't see the person coming, or I would have avoided it.
Despite the evident meaning of the hit, no official police report was filed. Informants were targeted. 50 survived, even though his career barely survived the devastation. They had no desire to work with him. Everyone deserted him, including Diddy, the rapper who had worked for him prior to the shooting. The DJ stopped playing his mixtapes, and his record company dismissed him. Because of this, people thought that things couldn't get any worse. Diddy has a reputation for standing by his people, especially struggling East Coast singers. But when 50 was mentioned, the man stopped talking. Nothing. No open support. At that silence, eyebrows were raised. Some admirers speculate that he may have been trying to avoid getting blackballed like 50 and preserve his reputation. Some others started to speculate that he might have already struck a deal and was helping the police. Silence.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
He struggled to get back on track in his 50s after a few years. The cops were looking into Supreme Team Murder, Inc.'s Ja Rule, and all of its members. They needed insider information in order to bring a legal lawsuit against Murder, Inc., but nobody was willing or able to stand up to the cartel. Suddenly, several months later, evidence, including a phone call, tapes and secret conversations started to spread. The police had somehow gotten their hands on what should have been top-secret gang information. And there was only one way it could have happened. An insider informed, allowing the police to wiretap 50 Cent's phone and the entire Supreme squad. Almost all of the team members had their phones tapped. He gave the police a plethora of information against the Supreme Team and Murder, Inc., including private conversations about money laundering, drug money, and carrying out hits. It was more than that, though. Additionally, 50 Cent's name was referenced throughout these tapped phone talks.
Watch the door, don't let nobody come through here. And I said I watched the door. If I watched the door and him and a man ran out naked, and I said that, ain't nobody told me that.
It seemed like a clear-cut case of setup, and there was no way to find out who was to blame or why 50 Cent got into a fight that wasn't his. Despite the fact that no official police record was released to identify the informant, fans started to draw links after seeing a few strange things from Diddy's end. At first, his silence over the 50 Cent shooting had sparked suspicions, but not sufficient to make him an informant. When the setup hypothesis was presented, therefore, things started to make sense. Then his cases disappeared entirely. He was cleared of all previous charges almost quickly, but that wasn't all. And his group started to change.
They got the same outfit.
yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's a nice shirt. That's a nice shirt. All right, so when he said the shopping line, in real life, what did you say?
I said, let me get away from him. Because it was like, he was like, yo, no, you hot now. Now we gotta hang out now. Like, hang out. Yeah. He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the win.
Diddy shifted his attention from his old friends in the street to his business side of music. He signed brand deals with Cyrock, MTV, and a few other businesses. It was clear by this point that Diddy had a reason for giving up street rap. As a result, Diddy was quietly making bold moves while Supreme, 50 Cent, and Ja Rule were under police scrutiny and lost money. But in the end, his activities earned him the reputation of being an informant.
Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes on other people, write songs on other people's albums, on his album, and taking their talents and stealing their publishing.
Because he had a solid team of capable lawyers and legal consultants, fans started to question whether he had abruptly altered his ways and dismissed the accusations. He allegedly turned in his former circle to the authorities in order to gain freedom for himself and his record label. Nevertheless, there is currently no concrete proof that Diddy worked with the police to establish 50 Cent and the Murder Inc. Group in general. But since he moved over that phase, 50's public displays of hostility for Diddy have taken a completely different turn. Due to the multiple police investigations and charges, Murder Inc. suffered for a while. As things worsened over time, they too lost their footing. 50 Cent, on the other hand, came out and has continued to voice his dislike for Diddy. Everyone knows, Diddy was recently the subject of a lengthy and significant lawsuit that accused him of crimes like assault, misconduct, money laundering, and racketeering. All of these may seem terrible, but 50 Cent is the only one who has publicly stated how much he enjoys watching Diddy suffer. From the trial's announcement to the day of the trial, 50's desire to see Diddy fail has never been stronger. Additionally, people are starting to consider the various justifications that 50 Cent has publicly offered. The WIRETAP incident was arguably the biggest factor that contributed to this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
This is a special birthday for both of us.
We kind of own a couple of basketball teams, a couple of football teams by now. And we was all in. Puffy said, well, I'm not worried about Astor and all these people I see.
In addition to the countless AI memes that are still trending on Instagram, the documentary series Did Diddy Do It? Details Diddy's full list of alleged crimes and lawsuits. 50 Cent is obviously having a great time while he observes Diddy receive a lot of criticism. He doesn't seem to be getting off the bandwagon of Diddy's anger anytime soon. He has now earned the distinction of being the biggest Diddy critic in the world. A lot of people were shocked to hear that Diddy's chances of being declared not guilty had increased when his numerous charges were reduced to only 5. His release has caused some of his fans to rejoice. Another set of folks is not taking the news well. Among these people is 50C. 50 Cent has done a fantastic job of using the trial as an opportunity to express his long-standing resentment of Diddy. However, the petty king of rap would likely have to halt his public animosity now that Diddy may be out on the streets and the charges against him have been dropped.